if only I was hungry, I could just eat these French fries all day long. Look at these guys. French fries. Health, stamina, a little fullness. Ooh, they give you a little gas and hydration. No, don't know. Not hungry though, not yet. So, hello friends, welcome back. This is Rongo the Bold, showing you a little bit more in-depth modding for 7 Days to Die. And yes, I made French fries. So, what are French fries? If you look at the icon, it kind of looks like French fries, doesn't it? With some little ketchup on it. These are actually the same icon that is used for stick spikes that are at the final step before they are destroyed completely. So those kind of existed in the creative menu. If you go in here and you do stick, spike, there we go. This icon here, I used that icon to create my lovely French fry icon. It seems to work. So this episode is all about new growables. New growables, that's right. So what do we mean by new growables? Give me a hoe. 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 Let's go ahead and clear up a little area here. So I like the idea of having a few more crops in the games and a few more things that we just naturally have in the game but aren't currently growable. So let's go ahead and make ourselves a little plot of land here. And I'm going to demonstrate. Oh, darn it. I do not like the new hoeing animation. It's slow and a bit kludgy. And doesn't match up at all with the actual action happening in the world. And then I'm going to step you guys through the actual XML files as well, so don't worry about that. I will show you, and then I'll have them posted on my blog at RongoTheBold.com so that you guys can implement them yourselves if you would like to. They basically involve modding two files, the items.xml file, actually 3 files, items.xml, blocks.xml, and the recipes.xml file. Go away, Mr. Stick. All right, so now we got some territory here to do our planting on. And I'm going to show you guys what we have. Come on. There we go. It's a little odd. Okay. So, I'm also going to make a campfire. And let's make a grill. And let's make a pot. And let's get some fat. And let's get some potatoes. And let's get some corn. I want to show you guys all this stuff. And let's get some mushrooms. And I need a cactus. And I need an axe. These are all things that I need so I can demonstrate everything to you guys. Okay, so first steps first. Let's put our campfire down. Let's get some coal. 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 Rongo. Spell coal properly. Alright, we'll let this thing just kind of cook away. Get the zombies turned off. I don't really care if they show up. Since they won't show up. So, first things first. Dong. I have climbed this ground. Don, don, don. Alright. Gonna plant this cactus. Bomp. And another cactus here. Bomp. Alright. Beautiful cacti. So, when you are out in a cave, a lot of times you will come across... Oops. Actually, these aren't plantable. These are the ones I picked. So you pick these lovely mushrooms. Well, maybe you want to grow them. So I've created a little item here. You can go ahead and turn those into seeds. Mushroom seeds. Now, mushroom seeds can be planted anywhere. They do not require tilled ground to plant, but I recommend planting them on tilled ground just so you keep your crops together. Now, I had to reutilize other assets, so I'm using the same potato starter as you would normally get. So that's what I'm using as the first stage of the growing for these lovely crops. But they, like I said, they also can be planted out here in the wilderness anywhere. And they will eventually turn into regular mushrooms. Now, obviously, I'm not going to show you guys the finished product because it takes a long time for them to grow. All right, so another one that I've added, aloe. Aloe plant, the regular ones you pluck off the ground. Come up, boom, seeds. And since I'm lazy, I did the exact same thing. Looks like a potato when you first plant it. Especially now that they've made it so that it requires 4 aloe to create an aloe cream. Being able to farm aloe is even more important. So now you can turn those into seeds as well. This takes the same amount of time to grow as a potato plant as well. I mean, basically it's 60 whatevers. I don't know, maybe hours. No, that doesn't make sense either. 60 whatevers and 60 game units of time for them to grow to the next stage. All right, so I'm not done yet. Oh no, there's even more stuff. These big cactuses, these saguaro cactuses. You get yucca fruit and cactus seed. Now here's where I had a little issue because there is no... I probably should mess around and grab a different one instead. But rather than... there's no small cactuses other than the tiny little cactuses, which are different than the saguaro, so I didn't really have anything else to go with. So I went with this, and it grows to that. But the growth stages are, there's a one in between as well as height. So it starts from that, and it grows up to that over time. So it goes from this, then time passes in game, then it steps up to another stage, and then finally to this stage here. So if you want to have a little cactus farm, you can do that now. Because again, you do get some food, but it's also a defense. So if you want to have a cactus-based defense, you can now do that. So that's kind of fun. Not really much nutritional value to those things. All right, so what else did we add? So we got the mushrooms, which I already talked about. We've got our aloe, and we've got our cactuses. So pretty good new plantable objects. Now, I went ahead along the same lines, and I made a few other important things. Let's go ahead. I'm going to put this grill on. So, I don't know about you guys, but I love myself grilled mushrooms. Little grilled mushrooms, maybe some blue cheese or some feta, maybe some diced jalapenos to spice it up, maybe a little sriracha on top. Yummy. So you can now grill mushrooms. Now this basically gives you roughly the same as a potato. Gives you a tiny little bit of wellness, a little bit of hydration because mushrooms have a little bit of moisture to them, fullness, stamina, and a tiny little bit of health. So these are a decent little snack food. They do not have a smell on them, so you can eat those puppies right up. Now, we also, because we don't need to spend all day cooking them up. Now, I'm also a huge fan of grilled corn. And I don't know why they didn't have this in the game already. But voila, grilled corn. Same basic thing. We'll let it cook up. I'll show you the stats on this. And again, of course, you can always fiddle with the stats yourself if you want them to be better or worse or what have you. So let's go ahead and, while I'm thinking about this. So grilled corn. I don't need to cook it anymore. So grilled corn. Wellness slightly less than this, but they do give you stamina, fullness, and hydration as well. So they're not quite as good as the as a grilled mushroom, because I guess I like grilled mushrooms better. I don't know, like a grilled portobello, delicious. A little marinara, cheese, like a little pizza. All right, and the other thing I added, obviously, let's go ahead and switch to a, oh, yeah, off, it won't just switch anymore. So a potato, an ear of corn, a mushroom, and a jar of water. You get a mushroom stew. So a mushroom stew It's just slightly. Let's go ahead and hear mushroom stew. And let's get a veggie stew. So, a veggie stew and a mushroom stew. Same icon. Actually uses the venison stew, I think. Oh, those actually have a different icon. It's kind of strange. So, you do have a smell. Okay, it's the same smell strength as the others. So, health 5, 25, 20.8, 10, 30, 25, and 1.6. So, it's definitely better for you. It has a lot more resources in it, so it should give you a little better. Then I think actually I made it better than the venison stew. Let's check that out. 5, 40, 25, 1.6. So it doesn't have as much health, or it has more health because it's that meat doesn't settle very good, but it's not quite as filling. And what else did I do? Same wellness and hydration as the venison stew. So again, new kind of stew, just using all of our plant ingredients now. So pretty tasty. Now I made one more recipe in the game because that's how I roll these days. Again, it uses the cooking pot, uses a little animal fat, and some potatoes. Because, duh, we've got them both in the game. What comes out? French fries. Delicious French fries. And French fries have a smell. They give you a little. They take your hydration away, a little bit of saltiness, to them. A little bit of health, a little bit of stamina, kind of filling for each one. But they do give a little gas. Some of that animal fat, a little rancid. Not really processed very well. So you got to be careful of just using random animal fat to cook French fries up. So that's why I made them a little that. I was actually considering giving them having a small chance of giving dysentery, but I opted to not go the full route. So, new recipes for mushroom stew and French fries, and grilled mushrooms and grilled corn, and then new growable crops: the cactuses, the mushrooms, and the aloe. So I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Now let's go ahead and switch over, and I will show you guys the XML itself. And like I said, I'll be posting these snippets on the blog at RongoTheBold.com. So if you guys wanted to have those for yourself, you're more than welcome to try them out. So let me go ahead and switch over. All right, and we are back with the editor. I'm using, again, Notepad++ as my XML editor. These files are located in your Steam Apps Common, 7 Days to Die. Ignore the fact that I've got dash prefabbing here. I've got a separate copy of 7 Days to Die that I use just for all this kind of stuff. And then your data config file. And again, we're going to be working with blocks.xml, the items.xml, and recipes.xml files. So let's go ahead and find our Notepad editor again. So first thing is blocks. So let's go ahead and find cactus, because that's the first thing we need to do in here, because we need to be able to get the seeds. So normally, when you whack away at a cactus 01, 02, or 03, you get just the yucca fruit. And what I've done, I wonder why I didn't add it to the 04 was a different cactus, I think. So cactus, the saguaro cactus, saguaro 13, 16, and 20 are the ones that I'm working with. They give me the seeds. So I think these are the 3 saguaro cactuses. I don't think this one or this one or this one are saguaros. So they're the other kind of cactuses that are in the game. So I basically pretended this is the first stage, second stage, and third stage, since they're getting taller. So what I did is I added another drop event. So on destroy, it'll drop yucca fruit like normal, 1 to 2 of them, probability of 100% chance of getting 1 to 2 of them. It'll also drop cactus seed, which is a new item in the game. And it's a count of 1 to 2, again, 100% probability. So any of these size cactuses get whacked, you get seeds back. Makes sense? That's the only change that I have made here in the blocks.xml file. And again, those will be added and updated on the blog at RongoTheBold.com, so you can check those out. Now, this is a new item, cactus seed. because in order for it to be planted, it needed a thing to plant with. So cactus seed is it. Now, so let's go over to the items file, and I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom of my file. Oh, I'm working on an energy drink as well, but I'm trying to do a new buff, and the new buff is not working for me quite yet. So that one will come later on, and maybe I'll talk about when I go over buffs in general. So let's go French fries, cactus seed. So cactus seed is a new item in the game. So a new item is anything that you can hold, manipulate, put in your backpack. That makes sense? So I am using the mesh file of a blueberry because I used the blueberry. Well, it could be whatever, but I use that as the mesh file. Doesn't matter. Hold type is how it's being held in the hand. And so for the custom icon, I used maple seed, which is that generic seed that's used. So blah, blah, blah. It's good enough. Maple seed is the custom icon I chose to use. Give it a color. I've been using this color for everything. It's basically that bronze, zinc color. So I just keep using that now. Because I'm too lazy to look up more colors. So it basically, what I did, I looked at an existing seed, and they've got an action applied to them. An action is when you right click. So action 0 is left click. Action 1 is right click. So this is when you right click with a cactus seed, you will be able to place as block is the class of the option. No, it's a half-second delay, and the block name. So this is what is placed into the world. Is cactus 03 growing. So that's a new block. I actually did. That's right. I added a new cactus. So let's go down here to the very bottom. Should be at the very, very bottom. While oven working, cactus 03 growing. Okay. So, sorry, there are a few more blocks. I forgot about these guys. There's growing stages. So, cactus 03 growing. Okay. So, it has its own basic setup. Everything's pretty much the same as the regular cactus 03, only it's tagged with, this is a cactus 03. Now this I just tagged underscore growing on it. It is the same with cactus 01 as well, or cactus 02 as well. So basically it's got everything down to here is normal. Then I added a new property here as well called growing, plant growing. This controls the fact that it grows. Gives it the next stage. So if it grows up one more time, then it basically, when it hits this limit, it switches over and becomes this next item. And this next item is here, cactus 02 growing, which you can see, same thing, it gets to a growing stage. Then its next stage is cactus 01, which is a normal, fully grown saguaro 20 prefab cactus, if that makes sense. It's got a fertile level of 0, which means it can be planted anywhere. And this fertile level is what lets trees grow without having to have tilled soil, and also corn growing without that. Now, this is random. I'm not sure about it. I think it would mean it has a random growth factor. Like it'll just grow when it feels like it. I'm not sure what controls that, so I didn't mess with it. I left it at false. So we've got a cactus 03 stage, which then turns into a cactus 02 stage, which then turns into a regular cactus. Makes sense? Hopefully it does. Now we also added, and I'll show you these here in a second, we've got an aloe sprout, aloe young, and a mushroom sprout and a mushroom young. Same basic things as these two here. I should just put, but there's the 2 stages. So seed, sprout, young plant, fully mature plant is the basic stages I went through. So you've got 4 parts: seed, sprout, grow 1, final. 4 pieces, done, good, marvelous. Scroll though. Okay, so back here to our cactus seed. So hopefully that makes sense. So basically, when you right click with this seed in your hand, it executes this property class, places block. It places this small plant into the thing, which then immediately triggers this process to start counting down. So in 30 ticks or whatever, it turns into an O2 growing. 30 ticks later, goes to an O1 cactus, which is a final default growing stage. And we do the same thing for, let's find the other arrow admins, French fries. Got so many things going on now. Aloe seed and mushroom seed. So this is basically the cactus seed, same basic thing. So aloe seed, when you place it down as a block, after a half second, you place an aloe sprout. So again, under blocks, we've got an aloe sprout. Here, when you place it down, after 60 ticks, it turns into an aloe young. And the aloe young, after 66, turns into plant aloe. Hope that makes sense. So you get seed, sprout, young plant, final plant. This one here takes a little longer. Again, it can be planted anywhere, fertile level 0. And if you want to know what the fertile level of dirt is, so let's look under blocks here, fertile dirt. Grass, destroy, drops us that. So we need, is it tilled? Nope. I should have looked this up beforehand. Destroy fertile dirt. Fertile dirt has plant growing, plant fertile grass, growth wave is random. Destroy fertile grass. Somewhere there should be something saying what what fertile dirt is. No, so we can see here that potato sprouts require a fertile soil of 5. So that's probably your default tilled soil has got a value of 5. So when you till that soil, it becomes a value of 5. So this is what allows it to plant it there, but you plant it anywhere else, it just kind of fails. So hopefully that makes sense as well. So should make pretty good sense. Now I also added you'll see a few more items in here that I had to add. I added mushroom grilled, which uses the same basic texture and look as a regular mushroom, only it's now grilled. So I added a color background to it, so it kind of gives it that tinted background, kind of a brownish color. Now, again, right-clicking is the use action. This one, the class is eat, so this is basically you're eating this lovely, delicious thing after a second. And then here's all your properties for what it gains. So gains 1 health, 4 food, 3 water, 3 stamina, and 0.1 wellness. So modifying these values will adjust just how much it does. Now, if you have a food with, let's see if we can find the one with the smell. Okay, here we go. So our French fries, same kind of thing. New icon using this custom icon, trap spike, damage 05, different color for it, blah, blah, blah. All these settings here. Here I've got gain gas 10, so it gives me a little bit of gas. Gain water -2. This is where you take a hydration hit when you drink it. And then I gave it a new property as well, which is EX large smell. There's also a small smell and a large smell. This is basically how much it stinks. And driving down past the McDonald's or Burger King, you can smell those French fries from miles away and soak in the zombies. They'll come a-looking. So hopefully these objects all kind of make sense. And again, like I mentioned before, these item IDs have to be incremental, unique in your XML file. So if you add new items in, you got to make sure you keep incrementing those numbers up, up, up. So obviously I've got a lot more items in the game now. Final stage is your actual recipes. I know I'm kind of going through this kind of quickly, but you guys get this by now, I think. So I've got my recipes that turn the objects into seed. So I've got my plant aloe, which goes into aloe seeds. Get 4 of those out. Mushrooms turn into mushroom seed. And so those 2 are pretty obvious. Now, the other ones are my cooking recipes. And these cooking recipes all require the craft area of campfire. And they require different cooking areas. So the stew requires the cooking pot. The grilled corn, the grilled mushrooms require a cooking grill. And the French fries require a cooking pot as well. And then you just drop in your ingredients. Unlike a regular crafting recipe, you don't need to specify the grid position, because in the cooking pot, this doesn't matter. You just drop in the stuff and it'll cook it up. So again, to make grilled, you just drop on anywhere. One mushroom becomes one grilled mushroom. One corn becomes one corn grilled. One animal fat, one potato equals 4 French fries. Figure you get 4 French fries off of a potato. Nice big chunky French fries. And then my mushroom stew is water, mushrooms, potato, and corn. So you get a little bit of everything with that. Yummy. I might make like a venison dinner where you've got a potato, corn, mushroom, and venison. And you get a nice, maybe that could be a nice big meal. Hearty, delicious. All right. So I think, this was definitely my big farming item. And also I'm going to be working on fishing. I'm going to try and add fishing to the game. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to have fish in the world, but I'm going to have I think I've got a mechanism down in my head how to do it. Got all the parts in my head, and I think that we'll be able to do it pretty cool. But we'll see if it works the way I hope it's going to work. So anyway, if you have questions, please post them in the comments below so everyone can see them as well. I'll answer them. And I hope this has inspired you to think about other things that you could add to the game. Remember, it all comes down to how much you care about the icon in the game. Obviously, all the models, you've seen them. They use a throwaway, disposable kind of rag icon that folds over your hand for a lot of the in-world things to save up memory. Sooner or later, we're going to have access to be able to create our own in-game models. And then it'll kind of, depend on how much the engine can handle, how many objects can be loaded, and each individual user's available RAM and computer power to kind of handle those extra objects. But for now, I don't really care if the object in the hand doesn't look right. So I'll just recycle some in-game asset and use that. It all comes down to just trying to be more creative and just trying to stretch the realism of the game a little bit more, because I always thought French fries made complete sense. Grilling mushrooms, grilling corn also makes sense to me. So I don't think none of these are exploits. They basically just give you more food availability, but you still have to go find it. You still have to farm it. You still have to do everything else. So it's not like you're going to cheat by having this kind of stuff in the game. It just kind of adds a little more realism, a little more immersion, and a little more fun. So anyway, if you've got questions, comments, concerns, want me to go over something in a little more detail, let me know in the comments below. But for now, it's been RongoTheBold. Hope you enjoy it. Click that like button and tell your grandma that we can now make French fries from the fat from a fat zombie. Oh yeah. Talk to you all later. Bye. Oh wow. Oh wow. Wow, what a huge